So a couple weeks ago, I went to my 10-year high school reunion.
I don't know why, I'm like kind of nervous. There's people I know, but there's people I haven't seen in like 10 years, so...
And it was pretty interesting, and you might be searching up this video if you are also thinking of maybe going to your high school reunion or you're not sure what to expect. So I made this video answering these questions, and I'm also going to share my experience of how it went and what I thought of it. So the first question is, should you even go to your 10-year high school reunion? And I would say it's ultimately, like, it's up to you. But I knew I always wanted to go because, like, you know, there's just some friends where you are like good friends, but not good enough friends to like message them and like catch up with them just regularly. And I think it's just nice to like rekindle some of those relationships, because now that, like, you know, I feel like a lot happened for me in the last 10 years. Like, I had a 9-to-5 job, and then I quit my job to start this business, and I have a YouTube channel. And I think for a lot of people, like maybe the people I went to high school with, maybe they were so different back then, just like how I was, and maybe somebody has their own business, or like they are doing something creative, and so maybe like I can reconnect with some people that maybe like back in high school I didn't really connect with. So here are some reasons why you might consider going to your high school reunion. You might think, well, you know, I wasn't really close to anyone in high school, or like I didn't have anyone, there's no one that I really want to see. I do want to challenge you on that, and I want you to think about this. Like, even though you weren't close to those people before, it's 10 years later and people change, people evolve, people get into like doing different kinds of things. Is there a chance that maybe you could reconnect with somebody and you could actually become friends or acquaintances? Because you went to high school with those people, like there's like a special bond. Not everyone knows how you were when you were in high school, and because I feel like there is truly a special bond that you have with people that you go to high school with, and there is so much potential for there to be like lifelong friends. So I would say give it a chance. It also just really depends on what your goals are, because I know some of my friends who chose not to go to the high school reunion because maybe they just felt like it was awkward, they didn't really want to see people. So I do understand where they're coming from, and I think it's totally valid. Like, it's really just up to you. But for the reasons that you have, I want to challenge you on them. And personally, I feel like everyone should go to their high school reunion, just so like it doesn't happen often. It's like every 5 years or every 10 years, and it's way easier to go to the 10-year reunion than the 20-year reunion, right? Like, even for me, the 20-year reunion, I'm like, well, let me consider that. Or maybe I might not even be in the same country. Like, you don't know. If it's not too inconvenient for you to go, like if you are still in the same city, then like I personally would recommend going, just because you never know if you're going to reconnect with people or who you're going to see or how people have changed. And like, I think it's just good to be open to those things. So another option is like, if you really, really choose not to go, but you do want to like maybe rekindle some relationships or reach out to some friends that you haven't talked to in a long time, I think it's like you can kind of find that middle ground and message some people and say, hey, like, you know, I'm not going to go to the 10-year reunion, but I haven't seen you for like 10 years, and I would actually love to just catch up with you because it's been so long. So that is totally something you can do too. Another thing is like, if you are not sure you want to go to the reunion, but you are available to go, you can just pop in for 15 minutes and see how you feel then. Like, you don't have to commit to going to the full like 2 hours or 3 hours. Literally just like commit to going 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and maybe once you're there, like you're gonna feel something different. Okay, so a lot of you might be thinking what to wear because you haven't seen these people for a long time, and you know, people are superficial. Like, they are gonna kind of like look at you, you know, like they're gonna look at you, they're gonna see if you're like just how you are. Yeah, I know it sounds super like a superficial. I did put some thought into like what I'm gonna wear, and I wanted to look nice, but not like I tried too hard. So like, I thought I would go for something casual, but a little bit dressier, but still comfortable for me. So I just like, I could feel like me, but just more confident. So honestly, it's up to you. You can just like wear anything. You can wear your normal clothes. You can wear something nicer or like work more on your hair. Yeah, for me, like the high school reunion was at a bar. So it's kind of, you could kind of like just do anything. You can dress up, you can like be casual. So it didn't really matter. So I guess it also depends on like what the event is for the high school reunion. But yeah, but just remember, like, confidence always comes from within, and people can tell, like, even if you wear normal clothes, like people can tell how confident you are just by like how you speak and how you act. So I wouldn't put too much thought into clothes, but it's okay to put some thought into it too, because you haven't seen these people for a really long time. Okay, what to prepare? Like, is there anything you need to prepare? So I would say not really, but what I did before the high school reunion is I messaged some people I haven't seen like since high school, or maybe for like 5 years. And I just messaged them like, hey, are you going to the high school reunion? Because like I haven't seen you for a long time. So that's something you can do beforehand. And I think it's a good thing to do just so you know there is gonna be like someone you wanna talk to at the reunion. Okay, what do you say at the high school reunion? For me, like I did think about, you know, what I'm gonna say as like my update when I talk to people.
While driving here, I was like thinking about what I should say when people are asking me about the summary of what I've done in the past 10 years. So I think it'll be like, I went to university, went to business school, and then I graduated and worked for the UK government, and then I quit my job and I've been self-employed for 3 years.
So I did kind of like think about what I'm gonna say, just because I feel like a lot of things happened in my life, but I don't wanna go on and on and on about what I did. And just remember that like when you go, like I think it's really easy to like fall into the trap that everybody else's life is better than your own. But remember, people are only gonna share the good things about their life, and unless they're like super close to you, they're probably not going to share dark times in the past 10 years, right? So just remember that there are things that people are choosing not to share with you, and that's totally fine, but you shouldn't feel bad, and don't compare yourself to like where other people are, because you have no idea what they've gone through in the last 10 years. So like when you're thinking about preparing like a summary, if you want to, like you don't have to, but I felt better to like prepare something, or just at least to think about it. You can think about like kind of like surface level questions, like where are you working, like where are you living, your love life, like how much do you want to share about your relationships. So yeah, like it's up to you what you do want to share, and if you don't feel comfortable, then just don't share. Just like say something vague and then ask the person like a question back. Okay, so how do you have a good time there? So I do have like some tips for you. If you're nervous going to the high school reunion, because I was nervous, get like 1 to 2 friends to go in with you. Like I literally got my friends to like meet up with me in the parking lot, and then we walked in together. I feel like it's nerve-wracking, like the entrance is a bit nerve-wracking because you don't know who's gonna be there, right? So for me, I felt a lot better just like having my like 2 of my best girlfriends from high school like go in with me like physically. Another tip for having a good time is try not to like sit in one spot or be stuck. Usually with these kinds of events, you can like mingle. So I try to not like just be at one place and wait for people to come to me. Like I proactively try to go talk to people. Okay, so another thing is it kind of depends on the event. So mine was at a bar, but I didn't get any food. I made sure I ate some dinner beforehand, and I only got drinks, because when you get food, it's really hard to move around, and then you're talking to people and then you have food in your mouth. So if it's like a similar setting like a bar, I would say eat something before you go and just like get a drink. Do you bring a +1 to your high school reunion? And I would say it's up to the event organizer, but it's totally up to you. For ours, it was like pretty casual, so people could bring their +1s, like a friend or like their partner. And so some people did and some people didn't. And my one friend brought his baby. So that was really nice. Okay, who plans the high school reunion? So I think typically it's like the class president or the valedictorian, but I don't think it has to be. For ours, it was like the valedictorian who planned it. and it was literally just like a Facebook event. I do think our high school has a alumni newsletter, but I think it's run by really, really old alumni. So there was just like a Facebook event. Okay, so how was my experience at the high school reunion? I thought it was really fun. I was nervous going in. Thankfully, I had my two friends, and I thought I would only like pop in for an hour, but I actually ended up staying a pretty long time.
My voice hurts.
I can't talk anymore.
Yeah.
So,
What did you think of the 10-year reunion?
everyone looks pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Everyone sounds the same too. I don't anymore.
Yeah, there's a lot of people I didn't talk to in high school, and so I didn't talk to them, but I talked to the people I wanted to talk to.
Yeah, it's really cool seeing everybody again. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone's doing well.
So we were there for 3 hours.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, if you're still debating whether or not you should go to your high school reunion, I would say just go if you're available and if it's not like too inconvenient for you, if it's like out of the country, because like the 10-year reunion is so much easier to like go and reconnect with people compared to the 20-year reunion. And you don't even know if there's gonna be a 20-year reunion. And just remember, like, people are way more mature like 10 years later. And if they're not mature, then you don't have to be friends with them.